is what we have, and this is what we're dealing with, and we're just trying to use what's available. It's a different method of working than most people are accustomed to, but the beautiful thing about it is you get new designs every single time. Sometimes we even find fabrics that we can come up with a new design just for that fabric and come up with different ideas just to utilize that fabric because it's so cool. And so it actually, in my opinion, it's kind of quite part of the design process, which is why I still pick out the fabric at the moment. I'm the one that usually comes here and does this. Hopefully in the future we're going to be transitioning that responsibility to other people as I get more help with people who are qualified designers, because you really have to have the eye for it, you know. You've got to be able to make judgment calls. I come here and I'm like, okay, this is what's available, what can we make with this? And you've got to be able to make that decision on the spot, essentially. Very nice. Pretty good. There's no shortage of materials. There is so much material available in Cambodia that's just being tossed out. So occasionally we don't find the right color that we're looking for, so that's usually the problem that we face more than a shortage of anything. But we tell our clients, okay, this is how we work. You never know what you're gonna find, really. And depending on what season it is, you might find a lot of one color one time and another time you don't find it. So we have to tell our clients, you know, especially when they place external orders with us, export orders, they need to be flexible with the color. So, you know, we could pretty much always, for example, find gray, but it's going to be different shades of gray. It's not all going to be the same gray. We can always find black, but again, different shades of black, different thicknesses. Every time I have to bargain with her. I come here all the time and still bargaining. It's, you know, it's a bit difficult because with this kind of fabric, I know when I go back, I'm not going to be able to use all of it. And so when we're calculating the prices, it can be quite difficult because when we have small pieces like this, they take longer to cut. We have to cut it by hand. If we have longer pieces, we can cut it by machine, so it saves us time. So these pieces of fabric are very small. Most companies couldn't make use of this. The garment factory certainly can't make use of it. They're cutting, you know, massive amounts at a time, and they're cutting it by machine. So if they find a 10-meter piece that has a hole in the middle, they won't use it, any of it. Whereas since we can cut things by hand and we're cutting smaller amounts, we can use those smaller pieces that anyone else would normally throw away. The other issue is that, you know, you can see from this pile that I have that I'm picking out like a lot of different colors. And the way that we work, since we're selling a lot of stuff in country, we can kind of curate a collection of stuff with colors that we like, and they don't all have to be exactly the same, and it can work in our store together as a whole. So it may not be completely consistent, but I just sort of pick the colors that are going to work together in the collection, and it's okay because people come into the store every week, there's new things, different fabrics, different colors, they all kind of going together within one season, but it gives our customers something new to look forward to every time they come in.
Smooth fashion, baby. Shake that. Shake that. I love just who you are. I ain't gonna try to change it. You are a shooting star. That's why you are my favorite. You are. I ain't gonna try to change it. You are a shooting star. That's why you are my favorite. Shake that. Wear something cute, okay? I love just who you are. I ain't gonna try to change it. You are a shooting star. That's why you are my favorite. I love just who you are. That's why you are my favorite. Shake that. I see the same thing. She's running through my head, stuck in my left brain. I hear her when she says that you will never ever find another man, and you could really use the company. I'll try not to make it out for you, I swear. I just can't take anymore, because she's running through my head. This feels just like a nightmare. Our lives won't like a true, yeah. Do you understand? I ain't got no space to breathe. No, she's running through my head. I hear this. So we take the night. If we fall, then we're done. So then take it right. This one chance we've got, don't mess up.
When I first started my business, I came here with basically no knowledge of business, no knowledge of the local language and culture and climate, and I had to learn everything from pretty much nothing. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I kind of think that now, if I look back and knew what I was going to get myself into, I probably wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, I'm very glad that I kind of got into it that way, because in a way I'm a little bit naive, but in a way it works in my favor, because I set out on projects that other people think I can't accomplish, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I can do that. And you know, I have an art degree. I don't really know anything about business or finance, and I was learning the local language and trying to work with the girls. And from the beginning, the staff as well didn't have any experience, the first women that we started working with, in sewing, so I had to train them all entirely myself. So I was training them, trying to make some marketable designs, building all the building blocks for starting a business while trying to get adjusted to Cambodia and learn the ins and outs of culture and how to work with people, and proved to be quite challenging, but our staff have been really loyal and supportive, and that's really helped us to grow. Most of the women that I trained up 4 years ago, they're still with us, and we have very good retention rates because most of our staff really like working for us and they're happy to be here. So they don't leave very often, and that helps us to build up the business. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. They've been all along the way supporting me as well, and they treat me like, you know, they're like my aunts and my sisters and my mom's here in Cambodia. And the staff that I work with are certainly the biggest part of what we do and why I do it, and they're also taking care of me at the same time. So. keo.kjey is a concept that I started, but I don't see it being a label that has to be about me and my vision. It's not, you know, a designer label that's sort of focused on one person's name or something. It's a concept that I hope that in the future we'll have more designers working on, and we'll be a bigger design team. So I'm definitely looking forward to bringing in more collaborators to work with me on designs and different collections. We want to build our business as a business, but we do want to try to work with NGOs to help women coming out of various difficult situations.
ធ្វើការនៅក្នុង keo.kjey ហ្នឹង keo.kjey បានជួយខ្ញុំច្រើនដោយថាជួយពីការយល់ដឹងក្នុងសង្គមផងជួយពីជីវភាពរស់នៅផងជួយឲ្យជីវិតរបស់ខ្ញុំនឹងស្រស់ស្រាយជាងមុនដោយថាពីមុនវាជីវិតវាមិនសូវជាស្រស់ស្រាយដោយសារយើងវាមិនសូវមានជីវភាពល្អតែដល់ពេលយើងមកធ្វើការនៅក្នុង keo.kjey អញ្ចឹងគឺថាយើងបានប្រាក់បៀវត្សហ្នឹងអាចជួយក្រុមគ្រួសារយើងឲ្យមានការសិក្សាលូតលាស់ទៅមុខ
Within the materials that we use for keo.kjey products, right now is a mixture between about 70% of our materials are recycled. So they can be garment factory offcuts, jersey cottons, vintage bed sheets and linens, secondhand clothing. We use a recycled cardboard to make all of our tags and packaging, rice bags and cement bags, also for packaging and for some of our products. Most of the fasteners, we also use a lot of vintage buttons and snaps and hardware. And then, so that would be all within the recycled kind of 75%. Another 20% are, I can say, locally and sustainably made. We know where the materials are coming from, we know the people who are making them, and we know that it's being made in the best way possible that it can be in Cambodia. So naturally dyed and hand-woven cotton, naturally grown and harvested reed matting that we use to put inside of our bags and stiffen them. We've got some clay buttons and beads being made by a couple organizations. They use all natural Cambodian clay and glazes. They literally get it out of the ground here. We have some hand-carved buttons and beads that were made by another local organization that supports people with disabilities. Those are made from reclaimed wood. And the last 5% is new materials, so we have to have new thread and new zippers and things that are going to make sure the quality is, that the product has integrity and isn't going to fall apart.